Welcome to the podcast about investing in startups, where existing investors can learn how to get the best deal possible. And those that have never before invested in startups can learn the keys to success from the venture experts. Your host is Nick Moran, and this is The Full Ratchet.
Welcome back to TFR for another edition of Investor Stories. On this segment, the experts talk about a startup that failed and the causes of that failure. Here's the segment called Post-Mortems. On today's special segment, we have Ajao of Base 10. Ade, can you tell us a story about a portfolio company that failed and why it failed?
Yes, I could tell several. I would say that in general, for example, a portfolio company that didn't do as good as it could have done was a company that in this theme of automation for the real economy was trying to create a marketplace for house cleaning. And it was the kind of service and marketplace that at the beginning everyone loved. The founder was just fantastic. The team was incredible. And the service was something that everyone liked and needed. But once the first connection was made and someone will pick their favorite cleaning person, they will disintermediate the platform. And among other things that made the unit economics complex, and it ultimately wasn't successful.
Is there a way you think that model could be successful? Or
we are tracking several, and it might be one of those things on the like Webvan and Instacart where the first iteration didn't make it, but there is a way in which if you have other added services and maybe more of an automated staffing agency rather than a marketplace, it could work. And there are some people working on that, and we're tracking it.
Well, there's one in Chicago called The Mint. I know that you have a Chicago portfolio company in ShipBob, so take a look when you get a chance. Not one of my portfolio companies, so I'm not shamelessly plugging them. On today's special segment, we have Ash Rust of Sterling Road. Ash, can you tell us a story about a portfolio company that failed and why it failed?
Yes, I've actually only had one portfolio company fail, would you believe? So I'm very proud of that.
All right.
This was a company in the medical network security space. They're trying to stop things like your MRI machine from the 80s sending data insecurely over the network, which can be easily sniffed by someone else. The problem with that company was that it was a really big idea that was really powerful, beautiful software, but it never got live. Now, in the healthcare space, it's very, very hard to get live, and they went after selling to large healthcare systems rather than trying to sell it to smaller providers first. And so they just simply ran out of money before they managed to get it live by virtue of the sales cycle and the particular approach they took. So I was, bummed out about that one because it was such a huge opportunity. And again, I really believe in the healthcare space, and these kinds of administrative problems are a big issue.
So was it administrative or was it on the product development side?
This, I would say, was a sales strategy and execution problem ultimately. I think they probably spent too much money and effort on their product development rather than just shipping something that was maybe a partial solution to the problem and then iterating live, as I would prefer a company to do. But what went on here was they built what they even called it luxury software in an email to me once, that was the time I was like, we're definitely, done. This is going to go badly. But they were, with that luxury software, they were selling it to very large healthcare systems. Those kinds of systems can take years to close and understandably are unlikely to want to be the first customer of anything like that because of the risk that they'd be undertaking. So, from a sales strategy perspective, it would have been better to go after smaller or mid-sized providers, even if they weren't the ideal long-term fit, just to get it live, to get a customer reference, maybe generate some revenue, and then move up to the larger scale systems, which would have been easier closes at that point.
Perfect is the enemy of good, Ash.
Yeah, done is better than perfect.
On today's special segment, we have SC Moatti from Mighty Capital. SC, can you tell us about a portfolio company that failed and why it failed?
I can tell you that there has been many failures in my investment career, some successes, but many failures. And most of the time, the failure is relationship related, i.e., the connection of the founder with their investor, their customer, their co-founder or executive team started to fail on some level, and nothing was done about it.
Interesting. Also, inter-team relationships as well, founders with other founders?
Oh, absolutely. So before I started my last company, I was looking for a co-founder for this company. And I started a network called Founder Dating, professional, networking for company founders, like trying to help people find a co-founder.
Right, I've seen it.
And I thought it was a much, much more effective way to go to somebody and say, oh, I can see you're looking for a co-founder and I can help you because I have a network of 1,000 co-founders that could be a match for you. Was much more effective than going to somebody and say, do you want to be my co-founder? Which makes me look a bit desperate. So anyways, through that experience that I had, I interviewed thousands of potential co-founders to try and understand how their motivation, how to pair them effectively. And I learned three things. I learned that there's three success factors. One is you want to have compatible communication styles. So when you're arguing, because you're going to argue, something positive is going to come out of that. Two, you want to have a complementary skill set. So not everybody is an engineer, not everybody is a salesperson. And then three is you want to have a comparable appetite for risk. So if you want a quick exit, both of you have to want a quick exit, or the three of you. If you want to go big and go IPO, you have to be completely aligned on this outcome. So yeah, team failure, co-founder failure, I think can be a huge, I know can be a huge reason for a startup failure.
That will conclude this installment of Investor Stories. If you're enjoying the program and would like to see it continue, take a moment and leave a 5-star review in iTunes. Also, if you'd like updates on new content from TFR, as well as the top 10 VC articles every week, go to fullratchet.net and sign up for the newsletter. Okay, that will wrap things up for today. Until next time, over-prepare, choose carefully, and invest confidently. Thanks for joining me.